Hey everybody, Jarrett with Jarrett Rushing Fishing back with you today to do a recap video of my 2-day gauntlet of Lake Hamilton, Lake Ouachita, presented by the Phoenix Bass Fishing League under the Major League Fishing Organization. So y'all, it's no secret. You can go out and look on Facebook. You can go out and look on MajorLeagueFishing.com. You can see the results. Day one, I had a bang up day. Caught 12 pounds, 11 ounces of pure D big green fish. Had a blast. Day two, had a blast, caught a lot of fish, caught a limit, but on Ouachita, I only weighed in 7 pounds and 12 ounces. Now, what I want to do here is kind of talk about both those tournaments real quick and give you a rundown of what it was that I was throwing and what I was doing. So let's just start with what Hamilton was. Hamilton was about 5.5 foot low. They were starting to fill it up. They started on Friday before the Saturday of our tournament. So the lake portion of Lake Hamilton was completely muddy. It was dirty, chocolate milk. Now, the further upriver that you went, especially north of the 270 bridge, it started clearing up a little bit. However, I found myself between what I call the bridges. I stayed between Highway 270 bridge and down where the Fisherman's Wharf Bridge is. So kind of mid-lake, if you will. It was muddy. I was digging a square bill crankbait in the rocks and catching my fish. And I want to show you what I was throwing, the Strike King 1.5 chili craw. Now you can see that bait is beat up. And that is the actual bait that I threw on Saturday. I threw it on a Lew's TP1 series 7-foot medium action rod and the Lew's Speed Spool LPS with a low gear ratio, only 7 to 5 to 1. And I did that because I was cranking this bait so slowly. I wasn't burning it, so I didn't feel like I needed a high gear ratio. And I threw it with Berkley 15-pound big game monofilament line. Now, I love throwing monofilament on my rods whenever I'm doing crankbaits just to give that extra little bit of stretch. I don't want to pull the bait out of the fish's mouth. So, although I weighed in 12 pounds, 11 ounces, it seems like that is a, all bells and whistles, if you will. But what I ended up doing, seriously, at 1:30 that afternoon, I had one keeper fish in the box. From 1:30 to about 2:45, I ended up catching 4 more bass to fill out a limit and then cold 3 times. So to put it in perspective, I hit one particular bank, I caught 2 keepers. I went into one particular cove, I caught 2 more keepers, including a 4.9. We went into a little cove, I cold twice, spotted bass, 4 spotted bass. So basically cold up a couple of ounces. The very last spot I stopped, I was in mid-lake, cranking a little bit of clear water. And whenever I say clear, I'm talking, a foot of visibility. And I picked up old trusty Arkie 350 in the red craw and ended up catching a 2 1/4 pounder, 2.5 pounder, somewhere in there, and cold out a 1 3 ounce, 1 4 ounce Kentucky. So that's what cold me up to 12 pounds, 11 ounces. Now, Ouachita, on the other hand, again, I weighed in 7 pounds, 12 ounces. And if you look at the picture right now, you can see that I had a bang up practice. Me and Christian Knight went out on practice at Lake Ouachita, ended up catching 5 fish at 5 different spots, running that square bill crankbait in muddy water, and my 5 fish would have gone 12, 13 pounds. It was a great day of practice. So, although it's cliche, I think I won practice. I left there, came back on Sunday, went straight back to the creek channel that I'd caught that big fish in. And by the way, it was 4 3/4 pounds. And the water clarity had gone from about 6 inches of visibility to about 3 foot of visibility. So the first thing I did, again, tied on the Arkie 350 red craw and another knockoff Spro RkCrawler is basically all it was, kind of a no-name bait. And I rotated between those all day long. I ended up catching 5 keeper fish at exactly, I weighed in at 4:30 on Sunday, but I caught my 5th keeper at exactly 2:45. So it was a late bite. From 2:45 until about 4:15, I culled 3 more times using the base that I just showed you. So y'all, I culled for ounces. I know it wasn't a bang up trip by any means, but what I was targeting simply was chunk rock. I was targeting flats that had some grass on it at Ouachita with a little bit of chunk rock transition. The fish that we found late in the day were on peat gravel, and y'all, it was just an amazing weekend. So I've got Greer's Ferry coming up on Saturday from the time that I record this video with the Anviljaw Bass Club, and then our next BFL event will be on Greer's Ferry as well in mid to late April. So spawn should be relatively over with, but I'm hoping that some of these baits still come into play. So what I want y'all to do here is go out, watch this video that's about to play. This is my practice at Lake Ouachita, just to kind of show y'all, hey, I did win practice. But I hope you enjoy this video. If y'all don't mind, give it a like, give it a share. Why, just tell your friends about this channel. And in fact, before I go, I want to give a humongous shout out to one of my new friends and a guy that's watching this video right now, I'm hoping, Mr. Maurice Smith. Now, to put it into perspective, while I was on Lake Hamilton, I wanted to try a flipping bite. Now, I couldn't catch them in practice flipping. I couldn't catch them during a tournament flipping, but I had missed one fish throwing a shaky head, and I just ran out of the particular worm that I was using. So a buddy of mine came into a cove I was fishing, Mr. Marty Scudder, and his co-angler, Maurice Smith, gave me some of the worms that I needed. I asked him for one worm. He handed me a wad of about 6 of them. So before this video even ends, and before you go into the live action stuff, me fishing on Ouachita, I wanted to thank Mr. Maurice Smith. A huge shout out to you, buddy. So again, hope y'all enjoy this video. If you got any questions, concerns, drop them in the comments. In fact, drop me a comment on this video right now and let me know what your go-to bait is during the winter early pre-spawn months. Are you a crawdad person? Are you a June bug person? Are you spinnerbait person? Are you an A-rig person? Hey, I just want to know. So I appreciate y'all. Enjoy the footage, and like always, y'all keep chunking.